here with Gypsyfae Creations. Thanks for tuning in. Today's soap is a Valentine's Day theme. Now that all the holiday and fall inspired soaps are done and over with, I am starting on my Valentine's Day line. And when I think of Valentine's Day, I think of chocolate covered berries. And I was on Pinterest one day, and I use Pinterest a lot for recipes, and I came across a dessert that was like a white chocolate bar cake, and I thought I had to remake that into a soap, and it looks like it was maybe white chocolate with raspberries on top. So that is the soap that I'm making for this one. It smells really good so far. And I am going to mix in my lye solution into my oils here. And there's also some coconut milk powder in here and kaolin clay. I'm going to give this a whirl. I'm working in layers in this one, so it'll be all divided into different colors, and then working in steps I will pour into my mold. But let's get this mixed up. Alright, so that is just a light trace. Colors I'm working with into this guy, I have some raspberry mica, and I wanted to mix it together a little bit because I'll show you guys the picture. We'll insert it in here, and some Merlot sparkle. I wanted to get more of a raspberry color. This is too pink, this is too red, so I've mixed them together, and I'm hoping that makes the color that I want. And then for the crust of it, I have some bronze brown mica that's going to go in the very bottom. So I'm going to split that up, and then the top layer here is going to be all white. The majority of the soap anyway is going to be the all white. So let's pour in the small container. That looks good. And then we'll pour into our raspberry jelly layer. And I think that looks good. And then into this guy, I'm going to add a whole bunch of titanium dioxide with distilled water. Not a whole bunch, but I just want to make sure I get this fairly white. So I'm going to start with this bottom layer here because that is the crust of this. And I'm going to give that a mix and then start pouring it. And the fragrance I am using is called White Truffle Raspberry. It reminds me of a Petit Four that I had once, like the cake with the white chocolate and the raspberry jam in the middle. Probably right on that, like it hits those notes right on the head with that. So I'm hoping this smells really good in the end. And woo, try not to eat it. Alright, let's mix this up. So that looks good. I'm going to pour this into the bottom after I add some of my fragrance in there. But let me go get the mold. Alright, let's pour this first layer in here. It smells very similar to the chocolate covered raspberry soap I made for Valentine's Day last year. It smells almost exactly the same, and I can't remember what fragrance I used then. I don't think it was this because this is white chocolate, but you know, it still has a chocolatey smell. This is supposed to be a blend of raspberry, white chocolate, and sugar cane. Very simple fragrance, but it smells so realistic. Alright, so I'm going to scrape this out. I'm going to give this a whack because I really want this to be as even as I can possibly get it. And then I'm going to mix up the second layer, the raspberry jam filling, and throw that in here. Smoothly, and honestly it did. Hopefully those layers came out pretty good. I made sure to go over the sides and just kind of wipe them down so that I don't have any weird things going on the side of it when I cut it, like any other colors going in through there. That's not the design I want. Alright, so I got the icing together. This is supposed to be more minimal if I'm going off of the drawing 100%, but I don't want to. I want to just pile this all up and just make it a very high top soap and put my embeds on, which I have these really cute little raspberries here. They're very tiny, dainty little candy looking mushrooms. And then I've got some little leaves to stick on each one of the bars as well. And I don't know how I came across that particular picture, besides Pinterest is a place to get in trouble. I find a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. There's just so much on there, it's like never ending, and then everyone makes their own boards and then you just get lost in all of it. Like fashion and decoration, food with the recipes. I mean, you can make a board for just about anything nowadays. And I particularly like the recipes that I find on there, and then I can kind of create my own little board or cookbook, digital cookbook, and just revert back to any of the recipes that I've used. That way they're all in one place. And this one was just like a dessert that looked so yummy, and I was like, it kind of reminds me of soap. I think because of being a soap maker and being obsessed with soap, everything is compared to soap. Some people see my soap and they're like, oh, that looks like a dessert. Me, I go through different recipes and desserts and go, is that soap? When in reality, it's an actual dessert. So some people are really talented soap makers out there that have the ability to really recreate desserts in soap form. That's the other social media that I get on is Instagram, and I kind of feel like that might have taken the place of Pinterest a little bit. I'm not sure how popular Pinterest is anymore. I definitely get on Instagram more than I get on Instagram. But again, I like going on there for recipes. Alright, so I'm just going to keep icing this guy. And I can't wait to put the embeds on it. This is going to look so delicious. Alright, let's put on some berries here. And I think I'm going to put one on top. And then maybe one on the side, and then I'll go back over and put the leaves on as well. See if I can line this up correctly too. These are really tiny, so I'm not that worried about it. But you guys know me, I can't line up an embed to save my life. Alright, maybe I'll start from this end. I like this end. I don't know why that is a thing. Like, mess up on one end, just start on the other. It'll work out. These are so cute. I just love how tiny they are. They remind me of like little raspberry gems, like those Christmas candies that are hard candies that you see like assorted, and you find them in like candy dishes, and then they get all sticky and stuck together, and you're afraid you're gonna bite down on one and break your tooth, and then die because there's so much sugar in that. And then trying to figure out which flavor is not the licorice one, because I don't like the taste of licorice. I like the smell of licorice. I kind of want to do like a licorice dessert or a licorice inspired soap. I'll think about it. Alright, I think I need to work on the spacing down this end now because it didn't all work out. Just this guy. I think I'm just going to take him off and put a whole new one on there. There we go. Of course, gloves get in the way. And then I'm going to put a little raspberry on the side. And then a leaf on that side. Raspberries seem to be a theme for me when it comes to Valentine's Day. Not necessarily strawberries, but raspberries. I don't know why that is. Funny story, when I worked in the bakery, I worked in a grocery store bakery, and that was probably like 6 years ago since I've worked in a grocery store bakery, but I still have dreams about it. I still have dreams about getting up at 5 or 4 o'clock sometimes in the morning and heading over to the bakery and knowing exactly how to do things step for step, like the muffins and the breads. And I bet if I went back to work just for a day, I would still know how to do everything. I just miss it, maybe. I don't miss getting up that early, but I miss baking, and I feel like everything was regimented and I just knew exactly what to do, and there was no surprises. Unlike working in the dentistry field, it's full of surprises. And I got that job because I guess showed off my skills on accident. It was Mother's Day, and they were doing a chocolate covered strawberry event, and they were so busy that no one had time to decorate the strawberries with the chocolate and make the mess and clean it up and actually make it look good and not sloppy. And they had hired me to work in the meat department. I don't know what that's all about. I guess they felt sorry for me and they'd give me a job. But that didn't work out for too long because they were like, hey, can you dip these strawberries and help us? And I was like, absolutely, this is boring. I don't want to work the meat counter. And so I started dipping strawberries, and they're like, oh my God, you're actually pretty good at that. I'm like, I know. And they're like, why don't you come work at the bakery? And I'm like, sure. And now I work in a dentist office. It's funny how life works out, or works in mysterious ways anyway. All right. I think I need to rearrange a few things, but I'm happy with that. Okay, super happy with that. So I'm just going to top it off with some sparkly glitter. And then I'll spray it with the rubbing alcohol. And then I will let this sit for 24 hours. And then when I come back, I'm going to get Bradley in here. We're going to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day. I think we need to have that conversation. See what it looks like on the inside. Not too exciting. Just some layers. But I gotta say, it looks just like the dessert. Only I did switch up that top a little bit, but I like it. I have to show you the picture. It came from a Pinterest dessert that I found. You use Pinterest, right, Bradley?
I like Pinterest, yes.
Yeah. Do you like Instagram and Pinterest? Do you like them the same? I get a lot of inspiration from both.
Kinda, yeah. I think I like different things. I think Instagram is more for like communicating with people. Like it's more of like a social thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people
yeah,
with similar
true.
interests, and you can check out what they're doing and all that. Whereas Pinterest is just like this kind of.
But you can also look at what other people do and follow other people's boards.
I know, but I never do. I don't know if anybody actually does.
Oh, okay. Alright.
It's more like your wish. Pinterest is like the wish list of like things I want to do, places I want to see.
Promised everyone for a little Valentine's Day story.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the first time you asked me out? Not the second. That's a story for another day.
First time I asked you out. Oh, Shannon's here.
Oh, hello. Visitors always messing things up. Alright. Do you remember?
I asked you out and you said no.
Alright, you're really bad.
And then as I walked away, you were like, I mean like not right now, right?
I don't remember that. I mean,
It was like not today.
Really?
It was to a movie.
No, you were working at Walgreens and I was working at Walgreens, and I believe it was your day off. And I was working at the cosmetic counter. The day before Valentine's, you asked me out. It was February 13th of 2005. But it was the day before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's.
And I said if you want to go out sometime, and you're like, I said like, do you have time to go out tomorrow or something like that? And you're like, no, not really.
Yeah.
And then you're like, 5 minutes later, you're like, I mean like not tomorrow, but maybe a different day.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. You might remember it different, but I remember I was like, my heart.
Oh.
She said no.
And we went out to go see a movie.
Oh, it was bad, yeah.
Called Hide and Seek.
Yeah, it was like
It was
Robert
really
De
bad.
Niro, right?
And Dakota Fanning.
Feelings? Yeah.
Feelings. All my feelings. It was a really bad
It was
movie.
so bad.
First
No
date
joke.
gone wrong.
Yeah, it was a bad movie.
It's alright. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I've also left links in the description box for any of the things that I use on here. And until next time, I hope you have a very nice day, and I will smell you later.
Bye-bye.